Hello, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night Wine Down number 3 at Spicewood Vineyards. We've got a great show for you tonight. We've got some great wines. We've got some great wines. We've got Anders Drerup tonight playing some wonderful tunes. We're going to get him started here a little bit, and we're going to drink some wine and talk about it and talk about some music. So I hope everybody is ready for some fun. Thanks for joining us, and let's get it started.
All right. Once it's spinning my head around, speeding my way back into town, I pull the visor down because I'm blinded by the light. I'm in a bit of a hurry and I've been driving all night. Oh, yes, I have. All the way from Illinois to Navasota, thinking about everything I want to show her. How many ways I'm gonna get to know her. Eyes on the white lines while I steer, and I catch myself grinning in the rearview mirror. I know it, I'm hopeless, and I really hope that she don't notice, but it probably ain't too hard to see how it makes me go crazy when she talks Texas to me. My baby, she does talk Texas. Hope everybody's having a good time at home. It's a pretty nice room here we got, full of wine barrels and stuff. A very small audience. Small but mighty. Southern sound falling from her lips, slow and sweet the way that honey drips, the kind that make you send 1,000 ships. It's music to these ears of mine. And then she called me darling, rolling over that old state line. Yes, yes. I'm at the hammer down Chase tonight. I got 1,000 or so miles behind me. Got that pretty little voice to remind me why I need to get back town so we can get together once the Texas sun goes down. I know it, I'm hopeless, and I really hope that she don't notice, but it probably ain't too hard to see how it makes me go crazy when she talks Texas. I know it, I'm hopeless, and I really hope that she don't notice, but it probably ain't too hard to see how it makes me go crazy when she talks Texas to me. My little baby, she does talk Texas. Oh, that little girl, she does talk Texas. Yeah, she's fluent in Texas. Grazie. Grazie mille. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, let's do the other one. I was going to do that one, and I decided on the other one. Let's do the other one. So is it okay if I tell stories while I'm playing here, or is that cool? All right, sweet. All right, so, this will all show up in the interview eventually, but I'm fairly new in Texas here, Canadian. Showed up about 2 years ago, and when I first got here, I was a single man. And I got on the dreaded Tinder. Yes, indeed, the dreaded Tinder. Now, the dreaded Tinder is bad for almost everything in the world, but it is good for songwriting material. Anybody who is into that, you're a songwriter, just go for it. So I went on this date, you see, and everything was going real well. Dropped her off at her house like a gentleman does, and, she gave me this real nice kiss, and I thought to myself, wow, what a wonderful night. So I went home. I called her up the next day, and I was like, hey, you're a wonderful kisser. We should do that again sometime. And she was like, what? No recollection of kissing me whatsoever. So I had to write this song. It's called 2 for Kisses. Whoa, I gotta be the luckiest kid around. Just look at how she's looking at me. Taking a chance on a new kid in town. She's a beauty down from Tennessee, looking like she's into me. One bar down, now we're meeting the pals out in the karaoke lounge. One song later, she's dancing on tables and I'm buying up another round. Whoa, Lord, like 2 more tequilas, 2 more beers. I haven't had this much fun in about 2 years. Got a second chance at my hits and my misses. Whoa, Lord, she can't remember my lips, so I get 2 first kisses. Oh, yes, I do. Well, 3 hours later, we were closing the place. I guess it's that time again. Tennessee and me up in each other's face, like a couple that's gone with the wind. Significantly more than friends. And when I dropped her off at the house, just like young lovers do, she said with a smile, you remember me for a while, but I don't know if I remember you. Oh no, cause of 2 more tequilas, 2 more beers. I haven't had this much fun in about 2 years. Got a second chance at my hits and my misses. Oh Lord, she can't remember my lips, so I get 2 first kisses. Oh yes I do. Chasing the girl, she won't do nothing till she good and ready. And it gives me great pleasure to be telling the world that Texas and Tennessee were going steady. Or maybe I could be the bill to a Betty. Friends, they ask me, what did you do to get a girl like that with a guy like you? Tell you the truth, man, I'm just confused. But if my memory serves me, it had something to do with the 2 more tequilas, 2 more beers. I haven't had this much fun in about 2 years. Got a second chance at my hits and my misses. Oh Lord, you can't remember my lips, so I get 2 first kisses. Yes sir, I need 2 more tequilas, 2 more beers. I haven't had this much fun in about 2 years. Got a second chance at my hits and my misses. Oh Lord, you can't remember my lips, so I get 2 first kisses. I got a genie in a bottle waiting all of my wishes. Ooh, she can't remember my lips, so I get 2 first kisses. Thank you. Do another one, yeah? Okay, cool. You guys just tell me when to stop. Throw something at me when it's time to stop. Typically, that's how it goes. As you can tell, most of the songs that I write are about elections. Oh, I got an itch in my soul tonight. If loving you is wrong, baby doll, I don't wanna be right. I tell you about my baby, got the West Coast feel. Yeah, I love the look in her eyes and she's behind the wheel. Look in her eyes and she's behind the wheel. I know we all get along sometimes, but tonight's the night, you know we get to shine. Moving on, baby, cause we ain't got time. Ooh, sitting broken hearted at the back of the line. Sitting broken hearted at the back of the line. Come on. Tell you all about how she never say please. Yeah, she gets what she wants with the greatest of ease. It's looking at night like all she wants is me. Yeah, round about midnight, you know where I'll be. Round about midnight, you know where I'll be. I know we all get along sometimes, but tonight's the night, you know we get to shine. Moving on, baby, cause we ain't got time. Hey, sitting broken hearted at the back of the line. Sitting broken hearted at the back of the line. Come on. Cash or discredit, one way to get it. It'll take every penny of yours if you let it. Stay on track, you gotta get in the black. Never look back, just forget it. I know we all get along sometimes, but tonight's the night, you know we get to shine. Moving on, baby, cause we ain't got time. Oh, no, sitting broken hearted at the back of the line. Sitting broken hearted at the back of the line. Come on. Molto grazie, molto grazie.
All right, come on over, Anders. We're going to do some wine drinking and some talking.
Cool. Should I bring my wine from here?
No, I got you set up.
Okay, cool. Okay, 2 seconds. I'm coming over.
We got wines all over the place.
I got like 30 feet between you and me. Hold on a second.
That was beautiful. I hope everybody enjoyed out there. I hope y'all could see that guitar picking was fantastic. I wish I could do that. I've tried.
You can.
Oh, I can. I'm left-handed. I play guitar right-handed, so it doesn't leave a lot of room for playing with the right hand. It doesn't work that well.
What you need is one of those ones from Cheap Trick that's got both.
Yeah.
You
know, growing up in a small town, and I'm a left-handed guy. Everything I did was left-handed except for golf and guitar, because there was never a left-strung guitar or left-handed golf clubs. Not that I'm good at either one of those things, but I like to talk about it. Thanks everybody for joining us. I hope y'all really dug the music. I know I did. We'll make this short and sweet so we can get him back over playing some more guitar. We're gonna dig that a little bit more. Thanks for coming out.
Of course, man.
Why don't you, before we get into this wine, tell everybody a little bit about who you are, like where you're from, what your story is, because we've been hanging out and talking tonight, and I've been really digging the music, and I want to learn more.
I feel like I'm on a date right now.
Yeah, let's do that. A little
All right, cool.
Tinder date,
A Tinder date.
Yeah.
Okay, like I've actually
Only one first kiss tonight, though, not two.
Okay, cool. That's good because it's like we haven't even got to the second date
got
conversation yet or anything. I got to get your number first. Yes, my name is Anders Drerup. I come from Ottawa, Canada, and
Senators fan?
Of course,
you got to be. I had a Senators hat growing up in small town Texas, and everybody was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "That's exactly why I had it." So you asked me what that was.
Well,
sidebar. Sorry,
no,
for
it's
the
all
sidebar.
right. You don't actually hear that much about hockey down in these parts, and to be completely honest, I actually don't see that as a giant detriment. I was never a sports guy. I only have so much free space in my brain, and it's all music trivia, like 110%.
Well, I wanted to be a sports guy. I was just never good at anything good enough. So I always had to watch the sports, but never play them. But the Senators, for some reason, I had an Ottawa Senators hat growing up. Yeah.
That is actually a bit of an anomaly, and it's an interesting piece of merchandise to end up in this part of the world.
No idea how I even acquired it.
Well,
my father was like, "Where is that from?" But anyways, cool. So what brought you down to Austin?
Well, I always knew that I wanted to live in the States. I had actually been putting it off for far too long, to be honest. Should have been down here about 10 years ago, is what I've discovered. But I'm a dual citizen. My parents are both Americans, so I was able to make that switch very easily, at least as far as the border control is concerned. And basically, I knew that I wanted to go somewhere in the South because the cold does not agree with me.
Hey,
short sidebar on that one. I literally snapped. I was like in my truck waiting the obligatory 20 minutes for your engine to warm up before you can drive the vehicle. Man. My coffee is crystallizing in front of my face. I'm wearing every article of clothing I own, and I'm still freezing. And I lost it. I was like, I can't do this anymore. People don't have to live like this. Ah!
Yeah, obviously, and we always say in August and September how much we hate living in Texas, and now I'm like, oh yeah, it's great again. It's great again. But I did between college and law school, I did a ski season in Breckenridge, Colorado, and I made the mistake the very first day of taking a shower before I went on the mountain at 5 a.m. And the hair, and I just, I was 23, I wasn't thinking, and I got about halfway up the snowmobile ride, and everything was just frozen locks and falling and banging me in the face, and I was like,
for sure.
why am I here? Why am I? Oh, just to snowboard. That's why.
Right, of course. I had a plan.
It's still
I don't understand it now, but I did have a plan. It seemed really good at the time.
Well, cool.
But yeah, I moved down to the South. I have a brother here in Austin who's been here for about 5 years, doing a carpentry business, and he's doing quite well for himself. Nudge Texas LLC, ladies and gentlemen, if you need your deck redone.
Yeah, get it in.
Especially the ones out in Spicewood. We really like those.
That's awesome.
But yeah, basically, I came to visit him because he always pitched a really good game for Austin. My idea was that I wanted to get off the road because I've been a touring musician for about 15 years. And I'm tired, It's hard on the brain, hard on the body. And being on the road is just, I don't think it's particularly conducive to a healthy way of life.
Unless you're gas station food and trying to make the next,
Unless you're very regimented, and I'm just not, unfortunately. So, just cutting my losses on that one. But I did need to move to a place that had a sustainable music scene. So my first idea was New Orleans. I wanted to go to New Orleans because all of my favorite things about music come from New Orleans, invariably.
Any lover of the Neville's Brother is a lover of mine. That's beautiful music.
Totally. Yeah. Exactly. I just love anywhere that you can go and everybody knows who the Meters are. That's a win. That's a big win. But basically I came here to hang out with my brother for a couple of weeks because I figured that'd be a nice soft landing, come to the States. And I'd been on tour in Australia for about 4 months previous.
It sounds,
And
if you're going to be on tour, I guess if you're going to have to be on tour, Australia's a good place to do that.
Yes, indeed. It was quite nice. But when I came here, I didn't plan to stay, but I was all jet lagged and my brother comes into the other room and he just rips the covers off me. He's like, "You're in Austin, dude. Get up. We're going to a show." And it was a Tuesday night or something. I figured nothing really exciting was going on. Boy, was I wrong. I went to the Saxon pub to check out the David Grissom show
Oh,
and Sue
fun.
Foley.
Yeah.
And by the end of that show, I was like, I am never leaving Texas. I'm never going anywhere. This is where I belong.
Saxon will do that to you.
Yeah.
Your brother knew what he was doing, I guess.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, cool. Let's dive into some wine and keep
Man,
finding
let's go.
So the first one we're going to try here, folks, is so these are the 3 wines we just released to the Wine Club last month. This first one is called Louisa. It is named after my lovely niece, Louisa. My sister is the vice president and the co-owner, and I named wine after my daughter. So I figured if we didn't name one after her, she was going to beat me up. And eventually, oh, she's pretty strong. She can do it. So this is it's a grape called Vermentino, a little southern Italian, mid-Italian grape that does really well in the heat. There's going to be some. Let's taste it. Let me before I start talking about what it is. But this grape really does. It's grown in Sardinia. I didn't say that correctly. All those wonderful islands off the coast of Italy, there, up midway through, even up in some of the north, I believe. It's not super citrus, so that Sauvignon Blanc you were just sipping on that had that lemon and lime zest and that real citrus notes. This is more rounded, kind of melon fruit. There's some. Let me stop. What do you smell? And Anders has told me he's a wine geek like me, so we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun with it.
I don't think I'm a wine geek like you.
I'm a wine geek.
You've obviously got like some more pedigree than I do. I enjoy the product quite often.
That was my pedigree to get into this. It wasn't that I had some beautiful nose or beautiful taste. I just really dug wine.
Yes, I've got a passion for the excitement of actually drinking it.
Yeah. So what are you smelling?
What am I smelling?
I like that you got some people will put their nose and they won't get in there. You gotta get it in there.
I got a big nose, you know.
Hey, me too.
I'm going with some grapefruit.
Some little grapefruit in there. Yeah. There's to me, I get a little passion fruit, I get a little guava. And this is more kind of rounded. Like I said, it's not that real acidic fruit. So
you can really tell that there was a mouse on the vine in the 3rd month.
The 3rd month, yes.
Yes. And was it during a full moon?
Exactly. You're a better wine dictator than I am. So this fruit comes from the Bingham family vineyards up in Meadow, Texas, or Meta if you're from there in far west Texas. We love the Binghams. Thanks for growing it for us. But big
ups to the Binghams.
Yeah, there we go. The Binghams grow a whole lot of grapes up in West Texas, up south of Lubbock, and they have. And Marissa just got married this weekend. Congratulations to their daughter, or 2 weekends ago maybe. Indeed. But anyway, so let's try it. Let's see what you think. Prost. Whoop! What just spilled on me right there.
Delightfully dry.
Oh.
Crisp.
There's a little bit of white flowers, some like daisy. I know you're not supposed to smell white flowers and not taste them, but apparently when I was a little kid, I ate a lot of white flowers.
Hey man, kids get into crazy things.
Stuff, yeah. So this is a really great sitting on the porch on a warm summer day. This, to me, what I love about Vermentino is it's versatile. You can have prosciutto and mozzarella and all the charcuterie and all that stuff, or you could just sit out on the porch and sip on it and enjoy it. So.
Well, I happen to be a gigantic fan of like drier, but not exceedingly dry wines, and this is killing it for me.
I love the fruit. It's only about 12.5% alcohol, so you can have a bottle or two without really feeling anything. At least if you're a wine guy, that was a joke. I really don't have 2 bottles of wine every night.
You can crush like 4 or 5 cases and get on a tractor, no problem.
Yeah, well, a tractor, yes, but the car, no.
Oh yeah,
tractor, yeah.
Sure.
As long as you're inside the fence. Don't knock it down. Some of us have done that before. No big deal.
Right.
There's a gate out there that's a little crooked, but it wasn't my fault.
Right.
It wasn't my fault.
I will say nothing to no one.
So we're going to give a shout out to Micah for introducing us to Anders.
Indeed.
I got the phone with him. He was telling me, he's like, it'd be a fit. It was great. So big ups to him.
Indeed.
That was beautiful guitar picking. So
thanks, man.
We were talking earlier about some of your love. So the Meters, we love the Neville Brothers. What made music? What was the band that made, or the bands, or the singer, whatever it might be? What was that person or that group that like made you like, this is what I want to do? I want to be a musician. I want to be an artist. I'm doing it. Who was that for you?
you're probably going to expect the answer that I'm going to give you,
Okay.
right? Because you've been in the music industry for a long time. You understand what I'm going to say. It's basically impossible to answer that question with a single artist.
Well, that's why I said more, because I can't give you, like, I got to,
It would be the same for you, I'm sure. Like, the answer is not as simple. Because we all go through phases, right? Sure. And I think that when I first got into music, like the number one artist that actually piqued my interest, and I was like, okay, that's what I want to do. I got a tape cassette of Django Reinhardt, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is like pretty sweet. I gotta check this out. And then the guitar itself became something that was like of interest to me. Of course, that was something that was so far away. Playing like that is so far off in the distance.
That's a great I always love to ask that question, because you always can think like, I can hear you play, I can see some things, I got a feeling, and that's not who I would have said, and that's right. Awesome. That's why I love that question.
Well, and it's an interesting one too, because my playing does not resemble that in the slightest bit, of course. No. But if I'm answering the question honestly, that is the first one that really got me, like, my attention like wrapped up in there like immediately. But honestly, after that, it was like I'm a child of the '80s, man. I was like starting to discover music like right around the time when Rage Against the Machine and Soundgarden and like Alice in Chains they were cool, and like that stuff just made me so happy to listen to. I was my angsty little phase. Sure. And
we all had that phase.
Totally.
I grew up with whenever, and I still can't believe my parents let me get away with this, but I had that Rage Against the Machines, don't do what you tell me. Everybody knows that song. And I would just crank it up. I get in a fight with my parents and just turn up as loud and get it. I had a Sears and Roebuck Traveling Wilburys guitar.
Yes.
Because my grandparents, my grandmother was like, get in the magazine and pick a Christmas present out. And I was
I want
the guitar with Roy Orbison and Tom Petty on it.
Well, who doesn't? I still want that.
Yeah, and it had like a little, it broke like 2 years into playing it. But I loved it, and it's crazy how I would sit there and try to obviously I was not going to do what Tom Morello was going to do, but I'd try it. And
that is funny though, and Roy Orbison is like somewhere in the cosmos going like, what's going on? No. Yeah, just you're there like down in your bedroom with this like hand drill.
It was great. But I always love to ask that question, because I grew up in the Texas Hill Country, where it was Jerry Jeff Walker and all that kind of stuff. And when I was little, I totally rejected all that. I was like, I want Nirvana, I want Rage Against the Machine, I want all this stuff.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 42. Just turned 42 about 2 weeks or a week and a half ago.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
You made it.
I made it exactly. And but it was always and my father had the most crazy musical styles. One morning we would be listening to like Tito Puente on the way in, or the next morning it was. And I always go back to I was in 7th grade. I wanted to be on the basketball team, and we lived about 15 minutes out of town. And I was on the B team, and I was 4'2", and they were like, "Well, sure, you can play." And it was great, because I lived in a little town called Kingsland. We drive into Marble Falls every day, and it was a 15-minute drive, and it was just enough time to listen to Stairway to Heaven twice. Nice. I made the comment the first time with my dad. I was like, "This song's shitty," and he was like, "Oh, really?" Yeah. Every day for 6 months, we would listen to that on repeat.
You're like,
and so
it's actually kind of cool.
I'm like, I love it. So, but it's funny how that changes in you.
Yeah. So, for sure. It took me like a long time to kind of get into the whole country scene and stuff. And I've spent probably 10 of the 22 years that I've been a professional musician working like exclusively in country music. You're familiar with Graham Parsons?
I'm very familiar with Graham. Yes,
so I used to play Graham Parsons in a theatrical production.
Oh,
I
that's
had a nudie suit. I know everything there is to know about Graham Parsons. I know his entire catalog.
When this is over, we can have some more drinks and talk about. I'm sure there's some really good stories we just can't tell on the air.
For sure.
For sure. But growing up close to Luke. But what was amazing to me was that the guitar picking. That reminds me of when we were aspiring wine drinkers, and we were not of age yet. Lukenbach's gonna get mad for me saying this, but Lukenbach was 30 minutes away, and we would go out there and watch those guys play guitar. and they'd have those guitar circles, and that really reminded me that guitar is always fun because you have people that can massage it and treat it well, and some that just get on it, and some that do both. And I was really digging that. So how did you become? I know. So you got in with Django. How did you flesh out who you are and who you've become? What moved you from that original to who you are now?
Well, I can honestly put forward one name that probably isn't going to be that recognizable to some people, but I think especially in this part of the world, it might be. In Canada, there's a band called Big Sugar.
Okay.
They were coming up about the same time, early 90s.
I should know that. I've heard that name, and I can't think of anything.
They had been a great band for a long time. It was a bunch of guys from all over the country who had congregated in Toronto, and they were just really, really great players. They started off as a bunch of different incarnations of what they were doing, but the lead guitarist and the singer was this guy by the name of Gordy Johnson.
Okay.
Now, Gordy Johnson is...
That's a good. Speaking of hockey, that's a good hockey name.
It's a great. Actually, it's a great musician name too.
Sure, that's true.
He can be like a bass player or a drummer, or actually he happens to be all of those things too. So, but yeah, Gordy Johnson listening to his records taught me basically everything I know about music. Mm-hmm. He's an incredibly accomplished musician, and he could play you the most clean jazz that you've ever heard in your entire life. The Joe Pass stuff that it's like really nice, technical and well thought out and tasteful.
Because that's what I saw. There was that technical element. Some of that sliding was really impressive. Yeah.
But the thing I always loved about his music the most was that it was more about the aesthetic of it all than it was about the actual playing. So it's like a few well placed notes is more important than playing all the notes. Sort of without the darkness, we would never know the light, kind of thing.
Well, you got to have your technicality for your fellow musicians, and then the melodies and all that good stuff for the listeners. Yeah.
Well, and add in a tremendous amount of groove and blues knowledge, and
I'm gonna have to check him out.
Oh yeah. Well, the crazy thing is, he lives here in Texas. He moved down here about 20 years ago with his family. And he lives in Dripping Springs. And
of course, all the cool people live in Dripping Springs. Yeah. Not me, but all the cool people do.
Incredible musician, incredible mentor as well. We've actually been working a little bit together.
Well, that's impressive. That's got to be fun for you. Getting somebody shaped and getting really cool.
Well, yeah, it literally is like the epitome of a.
We're just talking, having fun. I'm sorry. Let's get into the next one. Keep going. Okay. Let's pour this one, and you can. Yeah, let's do that.
I just really like that.
Well, good. I'm glad you like it. It's better than you having to talk about it not being any tasty, for sure. Yeah. So real quick before you go, this is our 2017 tandem. Winemaker Todd Crowell and I a couple years ago really got into a lot of the Rhone varietal grapes, Rhone varieties, I should say. I've been getting lessons on how to say varietal and variety. And we bring in the correct time. Some sommeliers have told me I'm doing it wrong. We bring in Grenache, Syrah, Carignan, and Mourvedre every year, 4 grapes. And we change this blend every year. It is 2 grapes every year, obviously, tandem. And we change it. And the winemaker and I we agree on everything we do, Spanish and Portuguese-wise. But with these French grapes, we kind of, in the beginning, we would always... there was some consternation about which grapes should go into the blend. And
un petit peu de consternation.
There we go, exactly. So the tandem bicycle here on the label only has 1 seat, and the handlebars face the opposite way because we can never agree. So a little fun things here. This is 56% Carignan, which is a Spanish or French grape, depending on who you ask, and then 44% Mourvedre. It's almost Pinot Noir-esque. It's very light, soft, easy to drink, but super complexities. What are you getting on the nose in this one?
It was not a full moon. It was a new moon.
There was rain on the 3rd Wednesday. You can smell it. See, this is what we love about these Rhone varietals because they're a little dusty, a little funky on the nose. One of the
some muskiness.
Bandol is a region in France that does Mourvedre on its own, and one of the key descriptors early on is Band-Aid. Band-Aid.
Okay.
And that always makes you want to drink it, doesn't it?
Band-Aid.
Band-Aid, like a Band-Aid.
Like an actual Band-Aid.
So ours does not smell like Band-Aids, but
this does not smell like Band-Aids. So I smelled a lot of Band-Aids.
This is so. What I'm getting a lot of really nice light kind of cherry cola on the nose. Almost. Actually, I said light. It's light. It's soft, but it's getting darker to me. It's a little maybe even into black cherry on the cola.
Well, ever since you said Pinot Noir, that's all I'm getting right now.
Well, this is kind of the grapes that we grow in the state. Pinot's too hot for us to. I mean, there are some producers that do it, and I shouldn't shame on them.
But it has that subtlety.
But it's really, really hard to grow Pinot in the state. There's a few locations you can do it, but these are kind of our answer to Pinot Noir with these grapes in the state. We can make it light and soft. It's easy to enjoy. It pairs really well with food. You can, all kinds of cheeses and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah. I can see some very nice olives going down.
Oh yeah, with olives and some charcuterie,
some chorizo.
Chorizo it's one of my favorite. Some chorizo with a little goat cheese.
Oh, you kidding me?
Yeah. Hopefully y'all have all those things out there tonight. Y'all are enjoying.
Go to the fridge and get your chorizo right now.
It's Central Texas. They should have chorizo. Come on.
Go to Specs and find your chorizo. There are several varieties.
The best chorizo in the world comes from Fiesta Market. I don't know if you've been to Fiesta Market. They're off of like
I know of Fiesta.
Oh yeah, in Austin. Well, they used to when I was 18. They used to sell us kegs in college, so that's why I have a deep love for Fiesta because.
See, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit lost when it comes to the whole drinking age thing because in Canada it's like 19. We don't care.
Yeah.
And so Ottawa, the town that I'm from, lives on the river that separates Quebec and Ontario, and in Quebec it's 18. So you can just like skip across the border. There's no border control there. You just like walk across the border when you're 18 years old and just go fill your boots.
Yeah, exactly. Fill your boots.
Fill your boots. It's over there, eh?
I'm going to use that one. That's awesome.
Yeah, a little Canadianism for you.
We can make that Texan. We all got the boots on.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, it's probably more Texan than it is Canadian.
We're going to make that happen. I like that.
They're time, huh?
Well, I don't usually often wear boots, but when I do, I'm going to fill them.
Well, it's working stock in the summertime.
That's awesome. So what are we thinking? What are we thinking on the mouth here? Got any flavors you taste?
Again, this is just me because I'm speaking from my own palate here. But dry-ish. It's not overly dry again, which is just killing for me.
Yeah, soft, subtle tannins. They don't doesn't make you pucker. They don't pull away real quick. They're nice and easy to drink.
But it's got the acidity that I crave.
Sure, it's making your mouth water. That's what we want. We want you to want to have another sip.
Yeah. This is a summertime vino.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this in Texas, it's summertime 10 months out of the year. So you can't drink this in January or February, but every other month. Well, I guess you could.
By Canadian standards, it's actually summer 12 months out of the year, as a matter of fact. But
I like the riffing back and forth with we obviously had very different growing ups with our weather patterns because you went to Quebec, I went to Acuna, which was the border town in Del Rio, and they didn't care either. They let us fill our boots.
If you can see over the bar, you're fine.
Hell, they dip down if you couldn't see. They didn't care. As long as you were paying, they were happy to have you. So it was good times.
I've spent some time in the border towns.
Yeah.
I actually shot a music video in Juarez about 2 years ago.
You're a brave man.
Yeah. I have to say, that's the reaction that I get most of the time when I tell people that. But the truth is, I never felt more at home.
No, I loved Juarez. Was a great place growing up. We used to go there all the time. But then I went to law school with two guys who were from Laredo, and they went to law school and moved back, and they became assistant district attorneys. And in Laredo, when they got their district attorney badge and were also issued twin clocks.
Of course.
I'm like, well, they don't really give the Austin. Maybe they do. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think they give the Austin district attorney,
of course,
issued sidearms. And so
let me clarify. If you're just like a visitor and you're hanging out, I mean, most of the people that I was hanging out with
the people
from Juarez and stuff. It was just we were in a really good place. But if you're in law enforcement in Juarez, you're in a completely different scenario.
It's one of those most disheartening things about what's going on there is because we used to go all the time. We'd go over, go to the Cadillac bar, have dinner, and just. We loved going to Mexico, and now we hopefully one of these days I'll get to go back because we used to go there all the time, and I really, really dug it. And I learned how to drink tequila there, which is everybody's got to learn how to drink tequila.
That is a very valuable lesson. I'll say one thing quickly. My younger brother who lives here in Austin, he's one of these long distance motorcycle guys, and he actually drove out of the driveway in Ottawa, Ontario. and he rounded Tierra del Fuego. Like he did the whole thing. The only time he got off that bike was to get on the Panama Canal, and it's a big deal.
That's cool. That's serious. Impressive. That's a big deal.
And like Medellin in Colombia, he remembers these like experiences, and he recounts them very vividly about basically the way that it worked. Was he'd blow into town completely alone? Nobody would have any idea who he was, and he just had to figure it out. And that's one of the wonderful things about traveling, right? You just find yourself in these wacky positions, and you got to work your way into them or out of them or whatever it is that you've got to do. You got to do it. That's life. It's coming at you now. And what he found was that just being there in that world all by himself.
That's really cool.
It is. It's super cool. I mean, the whole Che Guevara thing makes it very romantic. Yeah. But, just being there in that space, he found that people were more than willing to just give him the shirt off their back because they wanted him more or less to, like, the town's got a bad reputation,
Sure.
It's been earned from years of oppression and all kinds of wacky shit that went on.
A lot of crazy things. No, you're good. We cuss here every once in a while.
But, basically it earned its bad reputation. But what they're trying to do as a community is earn a good reputation, And everybody comes out of the woodwork. You want a couch to sleep on? You got mine.
We need to hop on a motorcycle and go to Medellin. That would be awesome.
Man.
I'm really digging the conversation. It's been great. We're sliding a little bit when you get into this next wine. I know y'all want to try this wine. Get me to stop talking so we can get to play some more tunes.
Play some more tunes. I'm far too gone for that.
This next wine here is our 2017 Zinfandel. When we brought some Zin. When we were trying to hire our new winemaker, Todd, back in 2012, Todd was a Texan that had spent about 13 years out in Sonoma, and I was trying to get him back to Texas. And one of the ways I could get him back was to keep buying this fruit, because he had made this wine for so many years out in Sonoma and wanted to bring this back with him. So this is one of the few wines we make with some out-of-state grapes. This comes from the Forkini Vineyards in Dry Creek Valley. Wonderful, wonderful vineyard. Wonderful, wonderful family. They've been farming it for years and years. Great, great folks. And we are lucky enough, because Todd is friends with Andrew Forkini, to get some of this fruit. So this is very classic Dry Creek Valley Zinfandel that we bring the fruit back and make here in Texas. What are you getting on the nose?
Man, I'm so sorry. I'm just not.
You don't have to be sorry.
It's not that.
I like
sorry.
to put.
It's my Canadian nature. I have to apologize for everything. I'm so sorry, man. My palate is just like smashed right now.
That's great, though. It's fun. I like this. I had Micah here last time. Was like, I don't know anything about wine. I'm going to be embarrassed. And by the last one, he was like, I smell pepper. And I was like, it's Syrah. You're supposed to smell pepper.
Right.
And you got it. So.
I mean, clearly, if it's Zinfandel, it's going to be a bit sharper.
Yep. Well, and this is from a little bit lower in the valley. It's not up on the hill, so it's not quite overripe like a lot of those crazy Zins can be, but it's got jammy notes. Mm-hmm. It's blueberries and blackberries in the nose.
But again, it's not big washy kind of thing. It's exactly in my comfort zone.
We try to make wines that people want to drink and are comfortable enjoying, and we make some bigger wines. We make some softer wines, but
Can I tell you something, man?
Yeah, please.
These are the first Texas wines that I've actually ever had in my life.
Yeah.
And each one of these is like super impressive. I'm not just saying that because we're on a podcast right now. Like, these are really, really good.
I appreciate that. Thanks. I'll send you home with some more to try it on the way home. But after we get those tunes,
I promise you that you'll get a full review.
All right.
It'll be much more descriptive.
Oh, you're doing great. This is. The nose is really killer. I haven't had this in like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Reassessing here. I'm really getting red fruit, like dark red fruit, like really ripe cherry. Some blackberry now too. Let's try see what it tastes like.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good. Even if we did make it. I get a little caramel there.
Yes, for sure.
A little bit of like.
There's definitely a higher sweetness.
Yeah.
To this one, but it's again like not overbearing.
Well, I mean, it's fermented dry. There's no sugar left. It's just that juicy good. So if this was a little more ripe, if we'd got this fruit a little higher in sugar before we harvested it, there'd be a little darker fruit. It'd be like chocolate and darker, more intense stuff. But I really like the harvest call on this. It's just juicy and fruity, but the tannins are there. They're not overbearing. They come off the tongue and they really provide structure. So. Job well done, Todd and Reagan.
Indeed.
All right, where we at? We got any questions? Anybody asking anything?
Let me look. Hold on.
Everybody's like, stop talking, Ron. Let Anders get back and play some tunes.
Well, Andy Krell is saying he wants to get 1 barrel of fine Spicewood Vineyard wine and put that Canadian musician into another barrel and ship them all down to Costa Rica.
Hey, excuse me. I fit actually quite nicely into a barrel. I know I look tall, but I can contortionize.
Andy, here's to you, man. We miss you. Sorry you no longer live in Spicewood. I guess Costa Rica is a good place to retire. Andy was our very first wine club member #1. We've still kept the number for him, even though he moved away a couple of years, and I no longer get to.
There's only one #1.
Well, he's from Bavaria originally, and he taught me a lot of things. Here's to Andy. Thanks for paying attention. I hope you and Diane are enjoying Costa Rica.
Prosit, Andy.
Yeah. All right, man.
I got a question.
What's the question?
What varietal would you grow here? Would you love to make wine with if it could happen?
Pinot Noir. If I could grow Pinot in the state, I would grow Pinot. I'm a Tempranillo fan because of my time spent in Spain. I love Tempranillo, but Pinot Noir takes all my money because Pinot's expensive. And I don't spend a lot of money on Tempranillo because we make a lot of it in Texas, so I have a lot of readily available.
Right.
But yeah, no, Pinot Noir would be my grape. I like the softer side. I will indulge in a big steak and a big cab sauv if we have to, but I prefer the softer side where you got to seek out the complexity and the layers of flavors, and that's where my palate comes from. So.
And the same question to you. Do you have a varietal that you go to? Maybe you're not going to grow it, but something
sure,
you go to.
I got to start a garden first, I guess. But yeah, I'm a bit biased because my my experience with wine. I used to work on a vineyard in Austria.
Yeah. Cool.
And it was like in Kamptal and Niederösterreich, so it's like the Lower Austria area. Like they're known for Rieslings and Grüne Veltliners. That's like their thing.
Did you ever have, what's the grape? It's Zeitgeist?
Yeah.
Zeitgeist? I could not say it correctly.
Spiegelst.
Yeah,
or something like
that.
I've been probably saying it wrong too. But I mean, yes, it was, all of those. But I just have some very fond memories, and like it's kind of like chasing the dragon, like ever since that experience.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm sure that you know this already. Everybody who works in a vineyard would know this, but European Rieslings that don't come from Alsace are actually quite dry and crisp and awesome.
Yeah.
And the ones that get imported typically are the ones that get a bad rap because it's like hey, this is like a really gross, buttery Chardonnay, like gone bad kind of thing. And like not a lot of people are into Rieslings.
No.
But I'll tell you, those Rieslings.
So you just confirmed it. What I said, you tried to deny it earlier that you're not a wine geek, but you just confirmed it with your dry Riesling right there. You just confirmed. Welcome to the club. You're a wine geek.
Thank you.
Bienvenidos.
I always knew that I was.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you coming and talking a little bit with us.
Man, this is awesome. Thank you very much.
I hope everybody's enjoying. We're going to kick a couple, 2, 3, 4 more songs and do it out. I'm getting to 3 because apparently we talked too much and I loved it. Thank you for doing this with us. Let's go get some more tins, man. Salute.
Cool. Salute.
Yeah.
I don't even know which one of these to take right now.
Take them all if you need to. Double hand it, whatever.
All right, I'm doing it. Okay. Where was we? I got middle left and right on the right. Let's see here. What shall we sing, huh? All right, you guys ready?
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right, cool. Oh, wine always makes me sentimental. Let's sing a sentimental song. Well, I don't have that much now, honey, but I know that it's mine. I never could hang on to my money, never could hang on to time. When you're shopping through windows, praying for second best, never think an angel's gonna come to give you rest. When you call your lover's name, can she hear you? Call your lover's name. Just whisper in her ear, and you wash away the tears and all the pain. When you call your lover's name, yeah. And every step's another chance to stumble in the mud. And I can't stand too still, baby, I got walking in my blood. And I know it can't be easy, but you're matching everyone. Do we slow it down, or do we break into a run? When you call your lover's name, can she hear you? Call your lover's name. Just whisper in her ear, and you wash away the tears and all the pain. When you call your lover's name, yeah. We try to learn our lessons now through looking through the past, catching our reflections, staring through the plates of glass. But don't you be surprised to catch us smiling as we pass. All of this and more inside a love that's gonna last. When you call your lover's name, can she hear you? Call your lover's name. Call your lover's name. Can she hear you? Call your lover's name. Just whisper in her ear, and you wash away the tears and all the pain. When you call your lover's name. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, shit. I don't think I can do anything all that jazzy, to be honest. Unless you want me to do a cover. Can I do a cover? Is that cool? All right, cool. You guys are a couple, right? Okay, cool. So you guys are a couple. Are you getting married, or are you just dating, or like what's the deal? What's the story here? Okay, cool. But needless to say, there is some love there. Yes, you are at a vineyard together, or you're having some fun times. Yes, it is very nice. Okay, so I'm going to do a song for you in the language of love, which is French, as everybody knows. And this is going out to anybody who is also in love, because I am also in love. And I have a lot of that in my life right now, so I want to sing a song about it, and it is very nice. And I think you are going to understand it. Quand elle me prend dans ses bras, elle me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Elle me dit les mots d'amour, les mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Elle est entrée dans mon cœur, une part du bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi pour lui dans la vie. Elle me l'a dit, l'a juré pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens moi mon cœur qui bat. Quand elle me prend dans ses bras, elle me parle tout bas. Je vois la vie en rose. Elle me dit l'amour d'amour, les mots de tous les jours. Et ça me fait quelque chose. Elle est entrée dans mon cœur, une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui dans la vie. Elle me l'a dit, l'a juré pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens moi mon cœur qui, alors mon cœur qui, alors mon cœur qui bat. Et c'est le jazzy, est-ce que tabarnak là? Ah, ok. All right, so a couple more songs. All right, sweet. Yeah, I used to play in a reggae ska band back in the day. Yes, I'm gonna. Yes, indeed. I had to write something just because it's such an amazing style of music, and I tried. Of course, it ended up being a love song, naturally, because that's apparently my thing. Okay. Well, I can't even dream of her. Things fall apart when I do. Oh, now all I got is memories of those golden mornings in her room. But I know that I can't have them all. I'm terminal and she's the cure. Oh, now she will call me reckless for sure. Why can't I stop needing you? I guess the scales a bit tipped because, whoa, you got a driver and I'm taking the bus. Can't have your cake and be eating it too. Ooh, ooh. I wish I could stop. Why can't I stop needing you? Oh no. Why can't I? Why can't I? Well, not fair, no fair. I've got to see you every night. Whoa, now I wouldn't say you did me wrong, girl. Won't, but you never do me right. But I can't get you off my mind, yeah. It doesn't matter what I do. Whoa, now in our word, baby, it's unkind. Why can't I stop needing you? I guess the scales a bit tipped because, whoa, you got a driver and I'm taking a bus. Can't have your cake and be eating it too. Ooh, ooh. I wish I could stop. Why can't I stop needing you? Oh no. Why can't I? Why can't I? Oh no. Why can't I? Why can't I stop needing you? All right. A us? One of us? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Oh, here we go. It's another Tinder song. Oh, yeah. Okay, so first date. Half an hour late. I was like, should I go? And I was like, no. I should probably stick around. I got all gussied up for nothing? No. So an hour goes by. And I was like, should I go? And I was like, no. Decided to stick around. Hour and a half goes by. And I was like, should I go? And I was just about to go. And then she walked through the door. Again, worth a song. It's called Waiting on You. I'm taking my time just a sitting here looking at the bottom of an empty cup. You're running behind and the waitresses are looking at me like I just have been stood up. See, I don't mind because I've always been a patient man. I can wait a little more because the best things in life are the precious moments that are worth waiting for. And I'm minding the way that I'm dressing. Only get one chance at a first impression. And I only need a second to know the truth. Then I've been learning from all my lessons. When love talks, I pay attention. And it's more than enough to mention, baby, I've been waiting on you. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I also failed to mention that, like I said, my brother lives here in Austin. He's also on Tinder. And before I met this girl, I realized that she actually did have a conversation. Not a date, but a conversation with my brother before I ever went on a date with her. That had to make it into the song, too, so... So, baby, you got a type. Oh, yes, there ain't no denying that much is true. Because you swipe to the right on me and you swipe to the right on my brother, too. Because that's just fine because I love the way that it makes you giggle and laugh. And I can't find another sound in the whole wide world much sweeter than that. Don't matter if it sounds like fiction. Don't matter if they close the kitchen. It don't dim the shine on something so brand new. And it's the right kind of friction. When love talks, I learn to listen. And I know what I've been missing, baby. I've been waiting on you. Whoa. Know what I've been missing, baby. I've been waiting on you.
There we go. I hope everybody enjoyed that as much as I did because maybe they weren't here, but that was impressive. Well done. Thanks everybody. I hope you enjoyed winding down your Friday night with us. We'll be back in another month. We're gonna have this guy back out to the vineyard because he's amazing, and you need to get out here and see him play in person. Are you doing anything? You playing? I know it's the age of COVID. Are you playing anywhere? You doing anything we can tell them about?
I do the occasional gig. Yes, I'm actually playing on Sunday at Roadrunners in Dripping Springs.
Cool. Where can everybody find out more information about you?
That's my Facebook page. You can always find me there, and my Instagram as well.
All right,
That's Anders Drerup. At Anders Drerup.
And we'll get that on our page, so you can look it up from our page too. Thank you very much, sir. This was great. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your weekend.
So
Thanks for spending time with us. Yeah, you can get my number.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
give it to you. Yeah.
Let's talk here.
Let's do it. Thanks, everybody.
See you guys.